Want a new gadget for your setup? Let's make a crypto ticker with a CrowPanel. Create a folder for the project and open VS Code inside it. Create a file named platformio.ini and copy its contents from our blog. Make sure you have platform.io installed and then reload the window. Then create a source directory and inside it, main.cpp. Let's now code a program that says hello on the serial to test your ESP. Then select your ESP's port and upload your code. Using a serial monitor like this VS Code extension, select the port, baud rate, and open it. You should then see the hello message. Now, copy from the article the file that contains the pins. You can name it CrowPanelPins.h. And after that, we need to get the display's library. You can get all files from Elecrow's GitHub. If you prefer single-file solutions, I also made this header file that contains everything you need for the display. After copying it, paste it in a file named CrowPanel ESP32 and in the main file import it along with the pins. The next step is to set up the display. Start by initializing the pins. Hardware reset the display to avoid problems. Fast initialize it. Create a buffer for the image to be displayed. Initialize the buffer. Draw a square to test. Clear the display, send the buffer, put the display into sleep and turn off its power. Before uploading your code, change the rectangle's color to black. And after uploading, you should see the black square on your display. Now, let's include the libraries we will use: Time, Wi-Fi, HTTP client, and Arduino JSON. Now we create the variables that will be stored even while the ESP is sleeping. That is thanks to the RTC data attribute. We will also need an extra variable to keep track of the time the ESP is awake and a button mask that will tell the ESP which buttons should wake it up. The function addValue will take the most recent value of the coin and save it to the array, making sure that if it is full, the array shift down, discarding the oldest value. I then copied these two functions from an older project. The first one takes a value between an interval and converts it to another interval, and the second function calculates the percentage difference between two values. Now we will create the function that makes the request. From CoinGecko's docs, get the request URL and copy it to the top of our main file, along with the Wi-Fi settings and time to sleep. Then we will also need the function that takes the result of the request and converts it from JSON. The next step is to create the function that initializes Wi-Fi. Now, we are going to create the draw function. In it, we will initialize the display, draw to the buffer, clear the display, send the buffer, and make the display sleep again. To get the header file with the images we are going to use, check the article in our blog, or make your own if you prefer. Then we move to the loop function. In here, we will check for three things. If the exit button is being pressed, we update the value. If the menu button is being pressed, we change the currency, and if a certain time has elapsed, we put the ESP to sleep. Finally, on setup, we start by turning on the power pin and serial just like before. Then we set up sleep by choosing what happens when it is woken up and what wakes it up. Then we need to initialize the display's pins and buffer. After that, connect to Wi-Fi. Get the latest value if needed, draw and save the current time. And after this all, the only thing remaining is to upload our code. And that's it. Don't forget to check our review of the CrowPanel and other tutorials at our blog.